I honestly think 2023 might be one of the best years for spring-summer sneakers. Because the sneaker market this year isn't insanely inflated like it has been the past few years, a lot of these picks aren't too bad in terms of resale price. So here's the top 10 best sneakers for spring-summer 2023. And coming in at number 10, the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low Olive. Now listen, this pair of sneakers honestly barely made it to the top 10 list. I just don't feel right recommending a pair of shoes that's gonna be reselling for like $1,000. So this pair of sneakers does come with a big asterisk. It's not gonna be for most people, like 99.9%. I personally wouldn't spend $1,000 on this pair of shoes, and I don't recommend you do either. However, it doesn't take from the fact that this is an incredibly good looking pair of shoes. It just happens to be a perfect colorway to rock throughout summer and springtime. Now look, the release of this pair is still upcoming. It's actually dropping this month, April the 26th, so there is a lot of other factors that potentially could change leading up to it. But who knows, the resale price on these things could end up being relatively reasonable. You might be able to get this pair for retail, and if so, I think it's a great option for the warmer months. Coming in at number 9 is one of my favorite New Balance sneakers, and that is the 1906R Protection Pack. This is the latest version of the New Balance Protection Pack, or Refined Future, whatever you want to call this sneaker. Essentially, it's got all of the nice nappy suede, it's got all of the jagged cut edges, and it's got all of the great quality that we associate with New Balance. This is the predecessor to the hugely popular New Balance 2002R silhouette. 1906 being the predecessor is actually a lot better in terms of price on the aftermarket, and you can pick up quite a few incredible colorways for retail. It's an insanely comfortable pair of shoes. Some of the lighter options are my go-to, and I think an incredible choice for spring-summer 23. Taking the number 8 spot is the Yeezy Slide. Of course, this has to be on the list, and no, it's technically not a sneaker, but you can pretty much wear it like one. For the past 2 or 3 years, I've been rocking the Yeezy Slides non-stop. It is just one of the most comfortable things that you can put on your feet. It's an easy choice, and they're super versatile. Now, obviously, this being a pair of Yeezys, and Yeezy and Adidas are no longer working together, they are going to be a lot harder to get your hands on. Like, there's not going to be any more retail releases of these things. So this is probably going to be the last year that I could actually recommend this pair of shoes, because I can only see the resale value of these things going up over time. But for right now, there's still a decent amount of colorways that are relatively okay in terms of the resale value. So if you're someone who hasn't got yourself a pair of Yeezy Slides yet, this year might be your last chance. Given the fact that they're no longer producing them, there's only going to be less and less pairs kicking about. Coming in at number 7 is one of the best value sneakers in my opinion, and that is the Adidas Bad Bunny Campus Lite. I was so surprised when I got this pair of shoes in hand because of the retail price versus like what you're getting. You're getting a nice unboxing experience, you're getting incredible materials, and just a very well-made pair of shoes. I will say that this pair of shoes is kind of interchangeable with the Bad Bunny Forum, the last Forum, the white colorway. They have a lot of similarities in terms of the looks of them, the quality of the pair of shoes, and the value you get for what you're paying for. And both of these two colorways are relatively okay in terms of resale price, especially when you compare it to other models with the Bad Bunny collaboration. I think this is a great colorway for the summertime. It's gonna go great with a lot of your summer outfits, especially if you're trying to brighten things up or lose some of those layers. Coming in at number 6 is the Jordan 1 Low Tokyo 96. This is a pair of shoes that recently dropped, and it's kind of flying under most people's radars, but it is self-explanatory. This sneaker looks incredible, and it's just an ideal pair of shoes for spring and summertime. Now, the story behind the release of these things is pretty long-winded, but essentially they exclusively released in Japan, and then they started dropping in a couple other regions. So right now, there's not very many pairs of these things available. If you're someone who likes the exclusivity of a pair of sneakers and you want to kind of rock them and you don't really see many other people rocking them, this is definitely a solid way to go. Currently, the resale price is not actually too bad, and I think that's just because most people don't even know this sneaker exists. It's definitely possible that this sneaker could receive a wider release in the US, the EU, and all of the other regions end up getting a release of them. Either way, for a Jordan 1 Low, the materials are incredible, the colorway is super nice, the UNC mixed with the gray and the suede, and it even has a leather sock liner, which I think just elevates this sneaker 10 times. Coming in at number 5 is the Yeezy Foam Runner. Now, you guys know this was going to be on the list. It's an easy pick for me because I absolutely love this pair of shoes. And because I live in the UK and it rains like every freaking day out here, obviously I haven't been able to wear them as much as I would like to. During the warmer months, these things are in heavy rotation. I just feel like I could wear them anywhere. They're super cozy, they're nice and breathable. I think they look super clean with most relaxed spring summertime outfits. Now, obviously this is a polarizing pair of shoes. Not everybody loves it. There's a lot of people who absolutely hate this sneaker, but that's completely fine. All I gotta say is I absolutely love it. I think it's an incredible pair of shoes. I think it actually looks good, and you can't argue with how comfortable these things are. Now again, this being a pair of of Yeezys, probably one of the last years that I can actually recommend this pair of shoes, because again, the resale prices only have one place to go, and that is up. Taking the number 4 spot is a recently released pair of sneakers, which I just think almost feels like it's built for the summertime, and that is the Jordan 4 Craft. This special edition pair of Jordan 4s obviously has a lot of smaller differences to a regular pair of 4s. For starters, the materials are pretty much completely different, and a lot of those materials on the Craft 4s happens to be suede, which, as you know, gets dirty pretty easily. I definitely think, at least for the longevity of this pair of shoes, wearing it in the warmer months is probably a better idea. Not to mention that the colorway, I think, is just perfect for the spring and summertime in terms of how you're gonna rock this with your different outfits. I really like the Jordan 4 Craft. I think it's a great pair of sneakers and really nice if you want something a little bit different from your standard pair of Jordan 4s. Alright, we got the top 3 to get into, but before we do that, you know I gotta hit you with some of those honorable mentions which I just thought had to be on today's list. Starting with the Soleil Bembury Crocs. This is an easy one for me because I think that they've pumped out a decent amount of colorways now, to the point where not only do you have a lot of different options, but the resale price is actually pretty reasonable. Another honorable mention would be the Yeezy 700 V2 Cream. This is a pair of shoes that was heavy in my rotation last spring summertime, and it is definitely going to be in the rotation this year. Last honorable mention is a pair of Dunks. Anybody who wants a standard colorway of a standard Dunk, gray fog colorway is an absolute go-to. Now if you're in the UK or the EU, I recommend going for a Dunk by You. You can create a lot of different colorways like the Pandas, the UNC ones. This colorway right here is a Dunk by You, but at the same time, if you want something a little bit more special, I would recommend this for a pair of SBs. The Nike SB Dunk Low Fly Streetwear is definitely an honorable mention. With all of those honorable mentions out of the way, let's get into the top 3, guys. Starting with the Jordan 3 White Cement Reimagined. I mean, what more could you want from a pair of 3s? This is an absolute classic, and you've heard a lot of the scares of the quality control not being ideal on this pair of shoes, and that is relatively true, but there's so many pairs of these things out there. It shouldn't really be a consideration if you are looking to buy this pair of sneakers. It's going to be a great option for the spring summertime this year. It's an incredible colorway that's going to go with so many different summer outfits. You can rock them with shorts, and I think that looks absolutely fire. And it's a huge benefit that because they kind of just released and they released so many pairs of these things, the resale isn't as bad. Like, considering that the resale price of these things is only going to go up in the future. Coming in at number 2 is going to kind of be 2 different sneakers, mainly the Jordan 1 Chicago Lost and Found. An upcoming pair that I also wanted to add as the number 2 spot is the Jordan 1 Uncito. Now look, these are 2 very different colorways, but I think both have different types of benefits. Obviously the Chicagos are more expensive, but they are literally timeless. Like, they are never gonna go out of style. You could rock them all this year, the next year, and just for the rest of your life. I think there's something special about this colorway in the summertime. But at the same time, the Uncito Jordan 1 is an absolute banger. The Uncito colorway obviously hasn't released just yet. It is dropping July the 8th or the 28th or sometime in July. And at number 1, the Nike SB Jordan 4 Pine Green. Man, it seems like this pair of shoes is exactly what the people wanted. This is some people's favorite sneaker of the entire year, and we're literally only in April. Now this is an incredible colorway for the spring summertime, just the brighter hues, and obviously the fact that it has those nice green accents I think are going to go extremely well with any spring summer outfit. And also, given that this is the only Nike SB Jordan 4 in existence, it definitely is going to boost some of the exclusivity attached to this pair of shoes. What I'm saying is, if you took an L, now might be the best time to buy this pair. If you do want to rock it for the summertime, I only see this pair of shoes getting more and more expensive. Even if Jordan Brand decides to make another colorway of the Nike SB Jordan 4, I think this one, being the original, is always going to be the most expensive. This pair of 4s is definitely one of the best sneakers for the spring summertime. It's an absolute banger, and yeah, it speaks for itself. It's an incredibly good looking pair of 4s. Either way, guys, that is my top 10. Let me know down in the comment section if you would make any changes to my list. Check out this video where I take a look at one of the sneakers on today's list. Just click there to find out which one.